Hi guys, mess for everyone. Now today we're going to do trigonometry, and in that we're going to finding an unknown side and angle. Okay, before we start, 3 things we want to remember: high motivation, high confidence, zero fear. Okay, let's do the question. Now first question is, I've got a right angle triangle and I have one side is unknown, and then angle we have got here is a 38 degrees and the other side is 20 centimeters. Now first thing you have to do, remember, is labeling it. Labeling the 3 sides. Why? Because we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. So that's opposite the hypotenuse. So right angle, so it's going to be hypotenuse. I'm going to put H there, and that's my opposite. So that's opposite the angle, so it's opposite, and side with the 2 angles is my adjacent. Okay, so now I labeled all 3 sides. What do I have to use? Now SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Now just think about this, guys. There's a 2 sides has information that we need. Now, even though x we don't know, but it still has something on the adjacent and something on the hypotenuse. But we got nothing on the opposite. So we don't really need to use opposite, okay? So I'm going to get rid of it. So all I've got is adjacent and hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So I'm going to use cosine. So cos 38 degrees equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So therefore, x equals, now how am I going to make x by itself? I'm going to times by 20 on both sides. And then I'll have x equals, that will cancel out, x equals 20 times cos 38 degrees. Okay? Or all you have to do is you time this together. 20 times cos 38. That's what you have to do as well. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. And answer will be 15.76 centimeters because it's a 2 decimal place. Okay, so we got it to 2 decimal places for the answer. All right, so that was question 1, and I'm just going to leave this one, the SOHCAHTOA, on the side because we will use this one. And I'm going to change this one because the next question requires 1 decimal place, and I'm going to name it question 2 here, and I'm going to draw a right angle triangle right now here, this. So on the side here is x meters, and this one's 12.8 meters, and the angle I've got is here 43.5 degrees. Okay, so that doesn't look bad. So what I'm going to do, first step, we're labeling. So that's my angle opposite to my angle is opposite, and that's my adjacent because of the side with the 2 angles. That's my adjacent. So that's, this is hypotenuse, but I don't really need to have this one. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to check my SOHCAHTOA, which one is actually has I'm going to use O and A, or A on O. So that will be my tan. So I'm going to go tan 43.5 degrees equals O over A. O over A, which is 12.8 divided by X. Now, unknown X is on the bottom. So how am I going to do this? So I'm going to actually rewrite this because I didn't really write it nicely. Maybe I can write it here so it looks better. Then 8x. Yeah, that looks better. Now, how am I going to change this? What you have to do is swap this. Okay? When the x is on the bottom, you swap them. Okay? So now I've got is x on this side equals 12.8, and the divided by this one goes on the bottom. Tan denominator, that means degrees. Now, that looks all right. And use your calculator and you will get 13.5 meters because it's a 1 decimal place. All right, that's not too bad. Number 3. Again, it is going to be right angle triangle. This time we're going to look for the angle, unknown angle. Okay, here is a classical right angle triangle right here, and I'm going to name ABC. Well, I didn't name it before, but I might just name it. Why not? So it'll be 37 meters, and then I'm going to go 25 meters, and I'm looking for angle A to the nearest degree. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm looking for this one right now. Okay, that's one we're looking for. And first thing first, what is the first thing? Labeling it. Okay, so opposite to the angle is opposite, and opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse. And then what do we do? SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Now, O and H. O and H is sine. So sine A, because that's what we're looking for, equals O over H. 25 over 37. Now remember, to find the angle you have to use shift trig ratio. So in your calculator, I'm going to go A is inverse sine 25 37. Now this little -1, the power -1 there on the top there, that means reminding you press shift sign on your calculator. So when you press the shift sign and then you go 25 divided by 37 and equals, and then you have to press a little button called degree, minutes and seconds. If you do that, you will get roughly to the nearest degree 43 degrees. Okay, so that's not too bad. Number 4. Now number 4 is a little bit different. It's not going to be right angle triangle, it will be rectangle. So I'm going to have number 4 giving you rectangle, right angles, and then I'm going to go like that, and then here is 250 meters and it's 125 meters, and that's a theta we have to look for. So theta to the nearest minute. Okay, so how are we going to find it? Now first thing we need to think about this. The angle is on top here, and this right angle triangle. So I'm going to move this one. They're the same, aren't they? They're same and they're same. So 250 is here and 125 is here. Okay, so I'm looking at this triangle. So just by looking at this triangle, and then first thing you have to do, labeling. So opposite to the angle is opposite, and then side with the two angles, this and this one is adjacent. So with the SOHCAHTOA, which one has O and A that we have to use? O and A, that's 10. So 10 theta equals opposite over adjacent, 250. Now remember, with the angle you have to use shift 10. So theta equals 10 minus 1. Now we're not looking for 10 theta. 10 theta is a ratio, it's a value. We want to find the theta, the angle. So we move the 10 to the other, that becomes 10 inverse 10, and it'll be 125 divided by 250, and you will get something like 26 degrees and 33 minutes and 54.18 seconds. It says to the nearest minute, I'm going to go 26 degrees 34 minutes, because that seconds is more than half. So I'm going to round it up. So your answer is 26 degrees and 34 minutes. Well done.